Join me today as we talk about the new congressional reconciliation bill that passed yesterday. Are they really going to take $880 billion out of Medicaid? Trump Gaza? Russia's going to give us their mineral rights? The new Doge tracker, you got to check it out. And the Trump gold card for Visa. It's only going to cost you $5 million. Stick around. You just might learn something. Welcome to the Eric T. Conversation. I'm Eric T. Now, I'm driving around the other day, and I see a sign in blue letters, one of those yard signs you see in the corner of the street advertising something, and it catches my eye, and I look at it, it says, "Don't amputate, call us for wound care." So people are getting stuff cut off and amputated off their bodies because they don't want it to heal, and they just like, screw it, I'm cutting it off. And the doctor's like, "No, man, just leave it on. We can fix it. I don't care. Cut it off, doc. Just cut it off." So I think it's for like diabetes or something like that, because I see a couple of the same font, same colors, signs floating around, and some of them are talking about diabetes with the same telephone number. But whoever's putting those signs out there that says, "Don't amputate, call us for wound care," I got to be honest, it's impressive. I looked at it like 4 times. I'm like, am I reading that right? Does that say don't amputate? I mean, how many people are deciding on amputation over going to get something fixed? That's extreme. So if you're diabetic and you lost your leg over it or something like that and you're not taking care of yourself, please take care of yourself. We don't want any amputations, because I saw that sign, it caught my eye, and I'm really concerned about people who are just cutting shit off. Anyway, that's my observation of the day. Now on to the conversation. Well, Trump and Zelensky got kind of a little deal going on. I guess Zelensky said, okay, cried uncle, and he's going to sign over 50% of his mineral rights to the United States. He's coming here on Friday. They should be signing a deal together. And there was nothing guaranteed. No arms, no money, no nothing. Nothing was guaranteed so far in the deal from what we've read. So hopefully we can get that done, get some reimbursement on that, and move on and try to get a better strategic plan to deal with Ukraine and the Russian war right now. And Putin got some stuff he wants to do with us as well. So the top aides in Russia met with some Trump administration in Saudi Arabia last week, and Putin offered the same type of deal. They got 2 parts of Ukraine in 2022 that they annexed during the war, and now Russia's like, "Hey, you want some of our mineral rights too?" It's looking pretty good. I'm getting tired of all this winning right now that Trump's doing, because now we got 50% of mineral rights in Ukraine. Russia's offering the mineral rights to us as well. It just keeps getting better and better financially for the United States. So hopefully that war in Ukraine and Russia start winding down soon, and we can move on from that, turn the page, and start working on some other things that Trump's doing, like the congressional spending bills, the Senate spending bills, the reconciliation bills that they got going on, because the House just passed theirs yesterday, and it's got a lot of flack from a lot of people. The biggest one is the $880 billion they need to cut from Medicaid somewhere. So how reconciliations bills do is they're not final. Okay, people think these bills are finalized, they're done, they're over with. That's not how it works. Once you get a reconciliation done, you got to go back and you huddle up and you go to your committees, and in order to pay for this stuff, they have to rip off a bunch of money from different parts of the government. So the biggest part that has the most amount of money that they can cut would be Medicaid and Medicare. Now, Trump said in a meeting today, he was asked by a reporter, "Are you going to cut any part of Medicaid and Medicare, and can you promise us that?" And this is what he said.
The spending bill that passed last night aims to cut $2 trillion.
Right.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question. Okay? This will not be read my lips. It won't be read my lips anymore. We're not going to touch it. Now, we are going to look for fraud. I'm sure you're okay with that, like people that shouldn't be on, people that are illegal aliens and others, criminals in many cases. And that's with Social Security. We have a lot of people. You see that immediately when you see people that are 200 years old that are being sent checks for Social Security. Some of them are actually being sent checks.
So Trump's not going to cut it. He's not going to do, read my lips, one of those things. He said there's a lot of fraud, right? There's people on the books that are getting Medicaid and Medicare. They're getting that money for free. They shouldn't be on it. There's illegals that are getting it. There's also illegals that are getting Social Security checks. We're going to wipe the books of those people. And there are people that are 200 years old that are getting Social Security checks sent out. So those are the waste and fraud that they're trying to get out of Medicaid and Medicare. So all the people that are hooting to just rip Medicaid and take all the money from there, no, they're not going to touch anybody's benefits. If you're eligible for it, you're still going to have it. They're not going to cut your doctors. They're not going to cut who you're able to go see. They're going after waste and spending. Our government has an exorbitant amount of fat all over it, and we can cut down to get to the meat. So that's all said and done. Now, there's no tax on tips, there's no tax on Social Security, and there's no tax on overtime. Those are the provisions that are also in the bill. They were put in by 3 other bills, by Senate with the Social Security Act put in there. They're trying to strip the acts of 1986 that implemented a lot of this stuff into the programs of Social Security. So they're trying to revisit that and wipe those out. So seniors are getting Social Security, should not be getting any more Social Security taken out of their checks, shouldn't be any more tax on tips, and shouldn't be tax on overtime. Those are all the things Trump promised, right? He's getting through it. And people are thinking there's time to do this. No, there isn't. There isn't a whole lot of time for Trump to get this stuff done. Because as you see, Byron Donaldson, congressman from Florida, just announced yesterday on the Sean Hannity show that he's going to be running for governor here in the state of Florida. He's already got Trump backing him. Trump supported him. So we'll see how that plays out. So when you got guys like that who are in Congress, he's going to start campaigning now. So he's not going to be doing a whole lot inside the House. And I got a little problem with Byron Donaldson. I like the guy. I think he's a big Trump supporter. I believe he loves the country. I think he's got the right head on his shoulders. But man, all he is on TV all the time. That's all you see him on his TV. I don't see him talking or pushing any bills or talking any provisions that he's coming up with. So I would like Byron Donaldson to go to work and do a little something more than getting on TV, going on the Bill Maher show, going on Sean Hannity, hitting CNN. He's hitting all the news outlets. That's all that guy does. I would like to see him do a little bit more while he's still in Congress before he gets out there to become my new governor of the state of Florida. So Byron, if you're listening, get to work, man. We need more things done in Congress. Now, as I've said before, Trump is the king of trolling. And a lot of things that he does it for like shock value. And it just keeps his name in the news. And I got to be honest, CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News and these other news outlets around the country, or the world for that matter, but Trump is good business for them. They get big advertising dollars because people are watching everything Trump does and they report on it. So yesterday in his Oval Office, he came up with the gold card, a path for citizenship. Now, what that is you pay $5 million to come to this country and you get a visa. You get obviously vetted very well. They make you invest into the United States, and there's a pathway for you to become a citizen. Now, they didn't really release a whole bunch of information on that yet. They said within the 2 weeks that's going to be coming out. So this whole program is like in development. But people lost their mind over it. Like, oh, what's my U.S. citizenship is only worth $5 million. What about the people that can't afford that can come to this country? It's not for those people. $5 million is for the people that have $5 million. And if you have $5 million to get a visa to potentially become a citizen of the United States, then you probably have a business or you do investments. And that's what it's for. Because right now we have a program called the EB-5 program. It's been around for a long time. And it's the same type of program that allows people who have means to invest in our country and get visas. So here's a little breakdown of the EB-5 program that people weren't aware that this even existed. So the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program allows foreign investors to become lawful permanent residents of the United States, also known as the green card holders. The program is intended to stimulate the economy, grow it, and encourage foreign investments. Now, here are the provisions that you have to have in order to follow the path to become a citizen. They have to invest in a new commercial enterprise that creates at least 10 full-time jobs for Americans. They have to file a Form I-526, immigrant petition by alien entrepreneur with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. They have to receive a conditioned green card for 2 years, demonstrate to the USCIS that the jobs were created or maintained, receive a permanent green card, and then apply for citizenship. Now, the investment requirements are these. So Trump's card had $5 million to just get one, and then you have to do all the other provisions. But this one is what the provisions are to get the EB-5. You have to invest $1 million in a non-targeted employment area project, invest $800,000 in a targeted employment area project, and prove the legal sources of the funds. That's it. So this has already been around for a very long time, but it's pretty cheap. You want to become a citizen of the United States, that price just went up 5 times. So now it's $5 million. So all the people that are screaming about, oh, immigrants, this and that, buying it, they're not all from South America. People just need to know that. There are people that want to come to this country that live in Japan, possibly live in China, possibly live in Russia, Ukraine, wherever, Zimbabwe, okay, that want to come to this country. And if they're rich and they have the means to do it and they want to invest in America and create jobs, all for it. Now, it's kind of strange that people are upset about it because now they're calling it the Trump gold card, just like anything else he does. It's got his name on it. I think it's great. I think it's a good way to help pay off the deficit. With $36 trillion in debt, if you get 1 million people to pay the $5 million, that's $5 trillion right there. That wipes out over 10% of our deficit. Let's keep going and keep moving forward because that's the way you win. As I said, king of trolls. So Trump posts on his Truth Social a little video of Trump Gaza. Check this out. A little video of him at the end with Benjamin Netanyahu on the beach. That's a troll, guys. That's a troll. Now, people are like, oh, it's give the land to the people. You know what? I don't know if you've ever been to the Middle East and those countries, those third world type countries. They're shitholes, people. They're shitholes. I was in Afghanistan 20 years ago. It's no better than it was 20 years ago. And we pumped billions and billions of dollars into that economy. I was on a project where we actually went out there and talked to different contractors that were there in those countries. They had to hire locals to build schools and hospitals. Yeah, millions of dollars I got to spend through contractors to that country, and it's no better off than it was when we were there 20 years ago. Now look at it. Now the Taliban has control of it again. So if that's Gaza becoming a place that people, a tourist area where people can go there and have new buildings and new economies and new infrastructure, why not? Make it a neutral site. There's too much war going on. There's too much arguing going on. And sometimes we could look at the brighter side of things. And Trump did the same type of thing when he went to go to North Korea. Went to go see Kim Jong-un. Presented a whole video to him of the coastline and having condos on the beach. And he kind of almost sold him on the idea. And why don't you stop being a dictator and enjoy the fruits of labor of this country that you have and become a multi-billion billionaire by investing in infrastructure in this country, getting condos, getting hot chicks walking on the beach. I mean, that's what he sees when he sees land that's on the ocean. So that's another Trump troll. Everybody's going nuts over it, but I think it's genius. It just keeps his ass in the news, doesn't it? Now, Doge is continually saving us money. Right now, as of this recording, it's $54 billion. Now, if you don't believe it, you can track it. The Doge/tracker.com. Right here, here's a website you can look that up. Check it out. It is real-time savings that the Doge team, Elon and his merry men of geniuses, are finding of our tax dollars that is wasteful. Some of it's fraud, some of it's wasteful, some of it, we don't even know why it went out the door. But they're saving us billions of dollars so far. And this is only 37 days in. That's it. They're trying to save $2 trillion. And I think they're going to do it. Imagine like another 6 months, what they're going to find. They're going to dig everywhere. They're going to dig everywhere. So keep going, Elon. You're making good headway. Anyway, that's it for today. Join me next time for a little chit chat, some observation, and some good old fashioned conversation. Thanks.